Or are you just waking us up? My bad.
Yeah. Wake the heck up, old people.
Hey, Michael, wake up! You've been sleeping for so long.
Been sleeping for too long. I die of old age.
Michael!
Miklo, it's time to give him the piccolo.
Whoa. Whoa.
That's funny.
As long as it's not Piccolo's dodge class. Never dodge.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I swear Gohan had a -5 for dodge. Who's missed? Oh, red strikes right there. Okay.
Oh, no, calling out a hell bomb.
I'm sorry.
Hmm.
Nah. Who's left? Who's left? Red string. Okay. Well, I guess once again this draft lull is about to break.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It does not work again.
Oh.
Making the stream heroes. Oh,
You good to go?
welcome. Welcome
All right,
back
okay.
to another
Spectre's
wondrous season. Oh, wondrous game of BTL. We missed game two, but it was an absolute banger from what I have heard rumoring around the chat. So here we are in game three. We got some fast bans coming out. Looks like the teams are starting to get a feel for each other. And sorry, it looks like the teams are starting to get a feel for each other and are pointing out the flaws in each team's plans.
Well, it looks like Spectre, not a big fan of Indefiance's Jarvan or Zach, and then Mighty Throw is showing that they really don't like the bot laner.
Yeah, see the Pantheon band come out as well. They have played Pantheon twice now, so one is top, one mid. So it makes sense to just take it out. And we're going with the first pick, Volibear. Volibear highly contested in the series.
Oh yeah.
Let's see how Mighty Throws respond.
Okay.
Nautilus. A Red Strike
decided to
929 favorite. Nautilus first for the red side. Very versatile champion. This guy plays it in a ton of different matchups, so no wonder he loves his champion so much.
Ah, dude, he loves his Nautilus.
I heard he used to
Oh.
be like a Nautilus one trick back in the day or something. You guys know anything about that?
We're seeing a Jax.
Oh, and that's a
very
Jax.
early Jax pick. I don't know how I feel about this one, but it looks like they're saying could be a Jax jungle.
Yeah,
it is
could
definitely
be.
a flex pick. So what they can do is, if Spectre shows too much here, then they can send the Jax wherever they want and save a counter
Ooh.
pick for mid.
Wait, that's a nasty counter pick. Talia.
Ooh,
Oh,
Talia,
and Zaya.
Zaya.
Oh my gosh.
Now, what you might see get slammed here, honestly, is one of these artillery mages that really doesn't have to deal with approaching either of those champions. It might have a tough time with the Volibear, but as Coach Yusa XD always told me, keep that mid tier one in check, and you can have your artillery mages have fun.
Okay.
Ezreal, yep, definitely going to be one of those picks where you don't have to
Longer range
commit.
pick.
Yeah. Also, his E is a blink, not a dash, so the Talia is a little bit less effective. Let me see these phase 2 bans here. Now, what kind of bans are we looking to see here?
Well, let's see. Spectre's got a Volibear flex pick, I think. So they've got jungle support open. So yeah, we're gonna see Mighty Throws ban some supports out.
It looks like they don't want to deal with too many engage supports moving forward. And you see the Vigar ban as well. Now, although they did lose on the Vigar game one, they did see how much of a problem it was when the game couldn't get closed out by either team for so long because it did so much damage. And Smolder making it again on the ban list. You know, they've already picked their 80 carry and what could be the Volibear could go top or jungle, that Talia could go mid or jungle. So they do have some flex options here. But I'm just not sure about that Smolder.
Looks like they're maybe afraid of a Smolder mid or a Smolder top pick. I don't know if Spectre plays it, but if they do, definitely could see why they're afraid of it.
And the Darius ban coming out. Now, I did take a peep at the final scoreboard for game 2, and that Darius had some numbers on him.
Woo.
So makes sense to see that definitely just a ban come out. So I'm leaning towards the Volibear top. It's definitely not a fun match. Most melee champs don't like landing into Darius.
Well, I mean, right now it looks like they still don't have to commit till they see and I think that's gonna be a Jace mid. I think
so we have the Jace mid coming out for Wushikus. Now this is definitely something I have seen him play before. But now what we are begging for on Mighty Throws is some magic damage. Now Ezreal does put out some magic damage. You know, you have the ultimate, the W, the E, but definitely not too substantial. You know, the Aatrox.
Honestly,
Aatrox.
I would have loved to see a Malphite here or something.
Yeah, you know, when you blind Jace, it gives you the opportunity to just send the Malphite wherever he's going and just match him. Jace definitely has a tough time with the Malphite matchup. You can get queued down, and once you hit 6, and just go from there.
Okay, but they've decided to pick the Aatrox.
Now, Aatrox is one of those champs where it does help you kite out. And you're going to finish up with a Braum. Braum really good into some of these poke comps. But like I said, I mean, I want to see some AP on the side of Mighty Thrones because, I mean, they got mixed damage from the Jax Ezreal, but is really screaming at us. RIP to the Milkman.
Let's see. I think they gotta pick their top or jungle. So they gotta make up for a real deficit. Oh, and there's a
There's
rumble.
a rumble. Yeah, so that's one of those 18
Okay.
champs. So we have a really interesting comp here. It looks like both teams are kind of want people to just run at them. You've got the poke heavy side of Mighty Throws, whereas Spectre Gaming, they're more like a disengage kind of comp. You got the Talia Zaya to kind of give yourself some room. That being said, when you've got Zaya Talia, you've got these short range champions running into Jace Ezreal, it can be very rough for them. Not to mention, Rumble ulti can definitely stop these, like I say, these champs that just run at you. Aatrox and Volibear, they just run, you know? So let's see if Mighty Throws can capitalize on, I would say, a similar style composition to the first game from Spectre Gaming.
Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I'm pretty bullish on the Mighty Throws draft here. I don't think that Spectre really answered their long range poke with anything. So I think that the Talia and the Zaya are gonna struggle to get some damage on their carries, and but I do think that both the comps are pretty scuffed.
Yeah, I'm not sure what I would have liked to see from. Oh, am I echoing? What? Oh, never mind. Yeah, so I'm not sure what I would have liked to see out of Spectre Gaming's draft. I know for Mighty Throws, like I said, I think you maybe want one of these more, like these beefier frontline champs for the top lane, and then take like a longer range mage mid. That way, like I'm just saying, like imagine a Xerath in place of the Jace. I'm not sure who should plays it, but I think a Xerath there with like, I'd say a more dedicated tank in the top lane, just to kind of help neutralize any engages that don't go their way.
Yeah, I'm seeing that like Nautilus especially is definitely more of an engaged skewed support. So like the fact that they picked a pretty much full like poke, or like they picked two poke champions. They picked Jax, who's kind of split pusher, lane pressury, but you're also getting some team fight in there, and then they picked Rumble, so I don't know. We're gonna have to see if their team fight is gonna stand up to the Spectre challenge.
I've never been the biggest fan of split push type champions on junglers like Trundle, Jax. I mean, it could also be a Rumble jungle. That is a possibility, but I think for the most part, we're looking at a Jax jungle Rumble top, and you lose a lot of the pressure from being able to split push as a jungler because you need to be at objectives as well. You don't get to split push a lane on the opposite side of the objective you're contesting, so that might pose some problems. That's more of a macro thing than a compositional thing. That means at the end of the day, just see how well these teams can coordinate their comps.
I think it's interesting too, the Jax pick. It's flexible, but against a lot of the picks that Spectre has brought out, like what Jax is known for, his Counter-Strike, it's not very effective against a whole lot of the Spectre team.
Yeah, and the leap strike he's gonna have a difficult time engaging head on into this Talia Zaya. Aatrox as well. They have a lot of ways for disengage. Like I said, both teams have a kind of poke and disengage style. We're looking at, I'd say poke from TMT versus disengage from Spectre. So we'll see who just plays it better.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that I think out of the two, it's probably easier to execute Spectre's comp. Like, they look like they're a more traditional, like, front-to-back, disengage comp. Mighty Throws, however, they've got, like, a bunch of different styles of champions that want to play in different ways, so it's going to be a challenge for them to figure out, like, hey, like, how are we going to play? What's our game plan? And can we execute it better than Spectre can execute theirs?
Yeah, I would say poke comps are generally harder to execute than these front-to-back comps. However, the individual champions, in terms of piloting them, I'd probably give it to, I think our header is backwards, but I'd say the individual compositions, I would say, goes to Mighty Throws because, I mean, Jace, you're just looking at QE. Ezreal, you're dumping Qs. Rumble's a bit harder because you do need to keep track of that heat management, but Jax also has a very linear play style. Talia, you're keeping track of worked ground. I mean, there's a lot of things to look into for these compositions. I think individual champions, it's easier to play TNT, but as a composition, it's probably easier for Spectre.
Now that's cap.
Yeah, we see Red Strike 929 once again voicing just how much he loves to play this Nautilus champion. You know, it's definitely, he said it himself, one of his top two picks, and it's not two. It just never fails him. So, you know, he's, when in doubt, Nautilus is out.
This boy, Red Strike 929 lied as easily as he breathed. Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Not as chill now? Wow.
No, he was
35%.
explaining this to me. I don't know any of the support items, but he did say once
Was it Celestial
it's definitely
Opposition?
solved. Yeah, I think so. It solved a lot of the survivability issues that he's had when engaging. Yeah, so here he is kind of explaining the pick here. All right, so we've got our teams locked in, and we'll be right back once the game is underway.
Probably on the macro of this game. That's probably what I'll be commenting on.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look. I don't actually know who's the favored matchup top, so I'm gonna go look at that right now.
I think it favors Aatrox. So you
I
can.
mean, it's apparently, let's see, in Emerald, Emerald's about, it's a 50-50, Diamond plus, Aatrox is favored, or no, wait,
Yeah.
Rumble is favored.
Oh, really? 'Cause I feel like
Yeah.
Rumble, he tends to get bullied a lot by these. Oh,
Oh,
we're getting
has it
GG.
happened again? No!
We got baited by standard spectate.
Um, oh, woo!
We're back. And welcome back, everybody, to another uninterrupted game of BTL. Once again, we have Spectre Gaming on the blue side, Aatrox, Voli, Talia, Zaya, Braum versus the Mighty Throws, Rumble, Jax, Jace, Ezreal, Nautilus.
All right. Well, I don't actually, wait, are we live yet?
We are.
Oh, I don't see anything. My
A 5 point from Mighty Throws versus the
Oh, I guess I needed to
Stacked Bush.
refresh. Yeah, it looks like they were anticipating an invade, but the mighty or not? Yeah, Mighty Throws.
Yeah, I mean, when you see
Playing it
this
slow.
Nautilus come out, oh sorry, yeah, when you see this Nautilus come out, you kind of expect to check some cheese. Okay,
Okay.
getting our bone plating popped here.
I will note, pretty interesting that Katsumi took TP against Aatrox. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to take Knight in that matchup, so.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think this comes to one of those things we were stressing is that we have to be. We said this game's going to come down to a lot of macro play, so unless you're, confident you can just dumpster Aatrox, then you probably just take the TP and play around your team here. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
How is
Lake is
Rumble
getting
down?
flamed.
Oh my goodness. Those every single one of those
Rumble's-
E's shred MR.
Yeah, and Rumble seizes the early top lane Cryo.
Yeah, we see Jax has opted for the red side start. Doesn't
Yeah.
want to run into the Volibear, I guess. Either that or we're setting up a real early dive on the top side. I
I
think
will note. Yeah, looking at the positions though, the volley clearing a lot faster than the Jax.
yeah, Jax gonna go red Raptors Krug, so it is kind of a slower clear. I'm trying to get something off on mid, but it's just
Oh, looks
not
like
happening
Rumble.
here.
Yeah, it looks like Rumble pushed in his lane, looking to get vision on the enemy jungler.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
And Rumble takes the blue.
away. Oh my goodness. We got a 2v2 on the top side. Swag
Ooh.
has and loses a ton of HP. Loses the blue buff. It's not a pretty day. And it looks like they're going for the regank here. This guy's flashless. So
Oh
there's really nothing
man,
he
that
can
is
do.
brutal.
Oh my goodness. First blood goes over to the Rumble. No.
Oh, that is so critical for the
Yeah, that's
Mighty
gotta hurt his
Throws.
late
Neutralizing their
game.
jungler early.
Yeah, you're already down CS. Your jungler comes and gives him first blood and double buffs. The wave is pushing
Oh.
back this
Lake is
Katsumi.
done. He is
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, this lake is all dried up. Let's see what happened in the bot lane though.
Oh. Looks like there's something happening mid. Oh. Or maybe it's just Jax going to
Attempted
contest that
gank.
volley at the second one.
Yeah. Looks like he's contesting Scuttle. Looks like he's trying to double crab him here. Now Jax has not done any of his blue side. Yeah, basic learning is a nice duo name. I keep telling Sad Dragon Man, change that name to Blue Block 292. We'd have something going on with Twitch.
That would be pretty crazy. Oh, they're
invading on the
invading.
Jax here. Jack's gonna have to flash away. See that Talia
Okay.
knockback coming in.
Looks like the side of Spectre is trying to go tit for tat.
Yeah, but looks like everything's staying in control for Mighty Throws right now. Got another wave just crashing, but that's a lot of. Gonna see a little bit of a CS lead build up here at the bot lane.
Yeah. Looks like they've secured themselves a pretty cushy 1,000 gold lead. Let's see if they can maintain it into the mid and late.
1K gold of this early. Pretty sure all of that gold is gonna be on the top side. That's 400 for the first blood. Let's say 300 on the bot lane.
Oh,
Up a
man.
nice bit of CS and XP. And it looks
The
like
Rumble's
we're
already
starting,
got G2
yep, here.
boots.
Yeah, those boots are so helpful for dodging.
He's
Aatrox
actually
keys.
going to run down the Aatrox.
It looks like Mighty Throws is none the wiser about the rubs going on here. They're just now moving up, but two are already gone, so they are
we got
very
the
happy taking
customary.
that. But a QE, very nice shock blast hitting both champions there. Okay,
Right.
2-1, avoid rubs.
Yeah, it looks like they came to pick up their Grubhub, right?
And learning is ganking Katsumi here. Let's see how this plays out. We got the ulti
Ooh.
coming down.
Oh,
Okay.
gonna get the auto. They get the auto,
W
and
pulls him
it's
back, but
oh,
there it is. That
clean.
Q1, and that is a nice wave. So Aatrox is very much back in this. The CS is going to even out. And there's that kill. Very nice play by Learn on the macro. No, he's got that timer. You know, you've got a Zaya who's very safe AD carry.
I mean, she doesn't have her ultimate yet, but it looks like even without that, they just Red Strike and Co. They can't really do anything to her under turret.
Yeah, even without the ultimate, you still have to be wary about that feather pull because it's gonna root you and it could just kill all the minions, and that could make the play go south really fast.
Well, looks like the gap is closing a little bit on the gold lead.
Oh yeah. But nothing definitive here just yet. Both of these team comps are so early on. No game-ending plays, so to speak, have happened here. And Zaya is 6 now, so these bot ganks are going to be much harder to pull off if Jax ever shows.
Yeah, not to mention, if she ever outshoves the Jace, she's always going to be able to show up first with ultimate.
Oh yeah. You gotta be careful here. Rumble close to overheating. Okay? There's the overheat, but he's not gonna get any autos off.
Yeah, good little trade for Lake.
Okay,
Oh, oh my gosh.
Into this one.
And Red Strike with the classic phase check into disappear.
Think they have the damage to really deal with learning. Swagasm's 5, so we're not gonna see any dives come out here. Yeah, but Sad Dragon Man taking a ton of damage.
Well, this reminds me of a good old moment in Rat Legion's history, where good old Red Strike decided to face check a bush as Yumi.
Oh yeah. He does love to get his human ward cosplay, and does tend to cost him. We got a Dark Seal coming out on the Rumble here. That's interesting. I don't know. I just died there. I don't know how confident I feel in that.
Does the Dark Steel still give the refillable pot more extra healing?
I think so. Like all potions, like 25%.
Okay. Alright. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised going for that Darksteel instead of staying the course for the Leandry component.
Yeah, or maybe a cloth armor for that eventual Seekers. We got learning back
Oh.
up here, but the ward is gonna scout it.
Oh,
And
we
Defiance
got
is
the
here
Jax
as well. This
hover.
could go really bad.
Oh, we
Talia's
got the
ulting
Talia.
in. We got the Jax stun hitting the Talia. Jax flashes out. The Talia knockup is gonna hit the Rumble. He just doesn't have enough move speed, and Rumble is gonna
Ooh.
go down. Kill goes over to learning. Red Strike just a little bit late on the rotate.
Just like that, the tables have turned.
Yeah, they're starting to make a bunch of plays on this top side. When you have a Rumble, you can really keep him behind. It is so much harder for him to get back into the game. That is not a champion you want to play from behind. And it looks like we're going to see 5 grubs go over to blue side. So that's going to be really strong for when they're getting these objectives, or if they can get a little bit more pressure on these towers, or just take them so much faster. That's more gold for them. Looks like
Yeah, it looks like Spectre saw.
One more play.
Oh. Yeah, it looks like Spectre, they saw that the Mighty Throws got some grubs, and they're like, I'm pretty hungry too, let me order some.
Exactly.
Oh,
Let me
looks like
all grub hub. They're gonna trade the Drake for that. And it's maybe a bit of a later Drake. The 10-minute dragon pushing 11. So, I'm not saying we're in for a 50-minute, but this game could very easily take some time.
Oh,
Hey, Rumble's gonna go ahead and drop the equalizer. He's overheated. Aatrox is ulted.
Ooh.
2-2, 2-3. Holy flash is over. Not even needed. That is a solo
dang,
bolo.
the solo bolo. He is proving that he is truly the Lake Superior.
Oh yeah. We have a haunted lake in Atlanta. Please do not ever in your life go swim over Lake Lanier. It's not even a real lake. The reservoir.
Oh.
Okay, and Rumble's gonna go back to the
Oh.
all-in. Lake has missed all of the keys. He's gonna flash away, but let's see if Rumble can catch up. He's trying to desperately get to the Talia. Rumble flashes over. He's gonna run into the Talia here. He's desperately trying to overheat, and let's see if he can get some autos off. Look at the Rumble damage.
Oh my gosh.
Goodness. That is 2 for Katsumi.
And Spectre is haunted by the guys of Katsumi.
Katsumi going 2v1 with a quick TP back. Aatrox getting just a little bit too greedy. He was sitting on a ton of gold. Wanted to get that last shove out, and it has cost him 2 kills. This Rumble is very much back in it.
Yeah, I think they're around even, I think, right?
Yeah, they're dead even, 19.1k both sides. I'd say top lane gold is pretty even. They're rounding out first items here, but I think the difference here is Rumble opting for those tier 2 boots. He is running at the Ezreal here. We're gonna stun the Nautilus. Nautilus ulti's gonna come and hit the Xayah. Red Strike flashes away. The Jace QB lands on the Swaggasm. Xayah ulti's gonna come down. Jace gonna Q forward, get stunned up by the Braum passive, and is killed by the Feather Pull. We have another game coming out top lane where they take out Lake once again in Defiance, and Katsumi are trying to get this top lane down as quick as possible and try to get this Rumble out of this lane and applying more pressure around the map.
Well, it looks like
yeah,
Spectre's bot lane's pulling ahead.
Yeah, it looked like they were about to turn. It looked like TNT was about to turn that fight, but ultimately the Jace, when he queued in, he just got stunned up. That Braum passive is just so strong, and everyone autos you one time, and you just can't move instantly.
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of neglected to think about it, but the Jace Hammer Q is also. It looks like a dash. Is it a dash? I think the Talia will stop it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it does that. It does stop the melee Q. But yeah, I mean, when you're playing one of these Pope comps, I understand, you're trying to go for the kill, but you have to be very careful when you're queuing in as Jace, because you are not by any means tanky.
Oh man, and both supports are just off in Narnia.
the wet noodle fight going on here, and Spectre Gaming is gonna start the Herald here.
Ooh.
Okay, Big Q gonna come out, chunk the Aatrox.
Ooh, the positioning looks a little dicey.
Yeah, I mean, this would be a prime Rumble spot, but it looks like we're just going to give that objective. Now, this is kind of one of those things that I talk about. I know they want to fight for... Okay, hold on.
Ooh.
They're going to have to pop the ulti here. They're collapsing hard on him.
Oh!
Jax with the Q into flash, into miss. Oh, that Q3 would have been huge right there.
That would have been juicy.
Oh my goodness. That guy would have been full HP, and you know it.
Oh, man. Well, it looks like both teams are just neck and neck, just vying for that.
Yeah, this
that
is
little
probably
bit
what
that
we were
lead they
seeing.
need.
Yeah, this is probably what we were seeing, or what we weren't seeing game 2. I heard they were just duking it out. It was just punching each other back and forth. Hajime no Ippo out here from both of these teams.
Oh, yeah. They got the left, and then the right, and the
The good
uppercut.
night. Okay, so both these teams trying to reset. We've got Drake spawning in 10 seconds here, so I think both these teams are going to be trying to contest this and see what soul is coming out of here. Now, if this is another Hex Tech soul, I think, and you know, there's no Jinx R's to steal it this time. It's going to be very strong on this. I mean, both of these teams would do very well with a Hex Tech soul, but I think it would just be a tad stronger on the side of the Mighty Throws. They've got a much longer range poke. Sad Dragon Man walking dangerously close to the wall here.
Looks
gonna
like
eat over.
it looks like Spectre is kind of beating them the punch. They came out of base a little bit earlier. Oh, now they're driving.
Yeah, well, our jungler is driving the Herald, so it looks like they're gonna commit to getting this first tower down. That's gonna give TMT some time to position around the bottom side of the Dragon Pit. So you have to be careful about getting pinched here, or getting poked from both sides at least. You know, a war on two fronts has never worked too well for people in history.
Yes, sir. And also,
Oh, they're burning
now
the
it's-
dragon
ooh.
now. Okay, looks like Defiance is going in already. He's gonna have to queue out. The equalizer comes down. Jason's getting knocked back, but okay, Volibear is gonna go down here. The Braum ulti drops. It looks like this fight is going well in the favor of the Mighty Throws. They are absolutely slaughtering Spectre Gaming here. Eset gonna fall. Basic is the last one standing. That Feather Pull is
Ooh.
not gonna do quite enough damage to kill the Dragon. He's going to
Oh.
burn, and Arcane Shift is gonna take that kill over.
all right.
That is a, was that 5 for 1 on the
Yeah,
side
I think
of
it's a 5 for
I think 5 for
1.
1 here. That Nautilus is in the base.
They did get
5 for 1.
Dragon, but that's a 2K gold lead that they just handed over to.
2K gold.
the Mighty
We're gonna hit
Throws.
some towers here, so Sad Dragon Man's gonna get some more gold onto him. Essence Reader is already completed, so he's functionally infinite mana. These Qs are never gonna stop coming.
Yeah, it looks like they've managed to secure themselves a pretty sizable gold lead, but you know, as we saw by game 1, gold leads do not mean anything in the face of macro decisions. So
Absolutely.
could
but
still
they're
be
kinda making
anyone's
the
game.
They're making the right macro decisions though. That, like I said, by positioning under the dragon, they had nowhere to go in terms of running away from the poke. And because their poke is just so much longer range, they just couldn't do anything about it. So by the time the fight started, people were just melting. It was a beautiful equalizer too. It just completely cut off the carries from the rest of the team. Nice QE coming out from Jace. Guess we won't be able to see what dragon soul is this. Can't really tell. Oh, it is Hex Tech. Yeah, I see the gates on the map. So yeah, another Hex Soul coming out. Drakes are 1-1, but these are
Oh
gonna be
man.
very crucial dragons. Yeah, I do apologize for that. You know, I just moved. Shout out everybody. I bought a house. Guess what? My neighbors don't know how to control their cars.
What a proud homeowner you are.
It's hilarious. I still can't believe it. But like you said, looks like we got some more World Wars coming out. Red Strike hitting the hook on here. Defiance looking a little scared for the engage. I can understand why. Looks like their team doesn't have too much vision. Jace queuing in. They're just gonna have to flash out. Jace is gonna flash to follow, but he
Can he
easily
live?
walks away. The Q is gonna finish up the kill,
Okay.
but the rest of the team is very gonna easily clean up this Jace. He looks like he's trying to get that cannon minion. There you go, plus 90.
Oh, I think
That
the gold goes
kills
to
me,
the
Zaya.
Zaya, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be handing too many kills over to the Zaya, but I think it's so hard for Zaya to do anything from this position. Like, you don't want to be fighting these poke comps. Even if you're fed as I am, you could have 10 kills, but you're trying to face down a Jace and an Ezreal. It just becomes so difficult for you to get any actual damage off. So you're going to raise the tier 2 already. So tier 2 mid is gone. They're going to have so much control over this jungle vision now. They can just walk as they please. They're already trying to start another fight, but Defiance is going to queue back to the red buff. Okay, then the Smite's going to come out. We're going to queue over to our team and we're out of there. Now, Rumble, on the other hand, is in a bit more of a dangerous position. I don't think he's going to be getting out here. So he's going
oh my gosh! Yeah, Volley is getting choked out. He's down like 40 CS.
Another game with a
Volley
Tiggers cosplay. They just burnt that bear to sunder, bro. Oh my goodness. That was horrifying. I thought Rumble was 100% dead there, but that guy just melted. And okay, looks like Rumble's trying to decide between the Shadow Flame or the Hourglass. So it really just comes down to what do you need more here.
It's a Shadow Flame.
Honestly,
Shadow Flame
yeah. After that play, you get that Shadow Flame, brother. You kill them before they kill you. Death is the best CC. And it looks like we're going right into a death cap too. Oh my goodness, this Rumble is so accelerated. He is a 1K bounty. This guy has 8 kills. He is massive right now. And like, look, the 4-on-1 Zaya. What do you do when you've got a Rumble equalizer on you? You have to burn your ult before anyone even runs at you.
And this Rumble is doing his best Denzel Washington impression.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dropping the equalizer. I see you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, looks like they're gonna get the pick on the Rumble here, or at least try to. They've got the Talia ulti coming in, the stun is down, but Volibear is paying for his sins again.
They pick up that Rumble, that's big.
Zaya picks up that 1K bounty though, so that is gonna be huge. I mean, I was just talking about it doesn't matter if you're 10-0, but handing 1K over in an instant is definitely going to be doing Spectre Gaming a lot of favors here. You know, the Drake spawning here is very unfortunate timing for Rumble to die, but he does have that TP. The enemy jungler is dead as well, so he actually did massive work there, making sure that he killed the Volibear. So they can't even think about starting this objective until Volley's up.
Oh, well, maybe the Volley can get there in time with the X-Gate.
Let's see how they play their positions here. It looks like Spectre Gaming that's going to be giving this here, and I think that's the correct play. I don't see how you walk into this no vision, 2 poke champions alive. Yeah, you just got to get that.
It's only second Drake, too, for Mighty Throws, so if they can get Baron off that... Oh, but it looks like they're looking to cash him out before...
A little dicey here.
Yeah, I just want to point out the CS disparity between the Jax and the Volibear. I think Volley has lost all of his early pressure. Like, yeah, no wonder he's crumbling like a paper bag to the Rumble.
Yeah, this guy's. What is this second item? Is that Deadman's?
Yeah, I think he's building Deadman's Blade.
Just walked into a bush. He's gonna get hooked by the Nautilus. The Jax E is gonna come out. With
and he's retreating.
And this side is tearing up the Jax here. You have this front to back comp, and you get a little too close with your poke comp. This is exactly what happens.
Oh, but Jace on the flank.
Be able to walk away. Jace is on the flank here. Oh my goodness, Learning is gliding over here. Katsumi is still learning. It looks like Jace is onto the Talia here. We are trying to wait out some cooldowns here. Q gets stunned by the W. Q3 from Aatrox shut down, and we are 5 for 1. Just like that. Trade back another 5 for 1. Now, this is one of those things that frustrates me. You know, what objective are they fighting over here?
Yeah, the mid-game play is definitely a little bit of a weakness for Mighty Throws. You see that I think it was a 4K gold lead kind of collapsing to only a little bit over 1K now.
Yeah, that was absolutely massive. There were shutdowns left and right going over to Spectre Gaming. So we're going to have to see how Mighty Throws recuperates here, because fights like that is how you can very easily throw the game. Now,
And it looks like
I do
Talia is kind of a bigger threat now, so we're gonna have to
Talia
watch
is a
out.
bigger threat. Yeah, I do still have hope for the Mighty Throws just because their poke comp outranges them, and this was one of
Yeah,
those fights where they
100%.
definitely shouldn't have fought. They were not in position to actually use their poke. They just kind of started hitting people, and as I was free autoing, I think 2 or 3 people. It was a disaster.
Yeah, I don't think Mighty Throws wants to see the Talia get ahead at all because she's their main source of magic damage, and like you see especially from like the Nautilus that he's building pretty much complete armor. So if there's an AP threat, like he's gonna be back to the old Rat Legion days. He's kind of getting
Yeah,
shredded.
this is what I was talking about in draft. When your only AP threat is a melee range rumble, it does make your life a lot more difficult when these champs stack armor and your AP threat has to put himself in harm's way just to be able to deal with it. Okay, he's gonna face check the bush here. We're getting Q stun. Jackson getting Q
Oh,
away. Looks like the wandering support jungle duo is gonna have to flash out of there.
yeah, well, flash from the Jax going down pretty important for for Spectre, especially because if Mighty Throws has that flash up, Jax can possibly get on the back line. Without it, they can just kind of sit back, relax, and yeah, if he tries to use his Q to get in, I think there's plenty of peel.
Yeah, now there is some saving grace. The Talia's build is not high damage whatsoever. We have a Rylai's and a Seraph's here. Um, that next item is that Crypt Bloom.
I think that might be a
So
Crypt Bloom.
yeah, so we're not seeing a ton of like high AP damage here. So Mighty Throw is getting bailed out just a little bit by the itemization of reset, but we'll see
Honestly,
how this
though, the
plays out.
Rylai is pretty good pickup. I think getting a little bit of bulk could be important to surviving the burst, especially because their Mighty Throws is running a poke comp, so having just that little bit of extra, muscle here and there
Okay,
can
and
help you
Tetsu's getting
survive.
engaged on here in no man's land here. The equalizer is going to come
Oh,
down, so
oh!
is the hourglass. But yeah, this Zaya is just free hitting. They have absolutely no ability to hit the Zaya. Boulder is going to go down. Jason's going to Q in, flash out, and we are by the tower. Q flash from the Aatrox, and that guy goes down. It is all on Sad Dragon Man now to fend off the Horde.
Looks like they're just turning to take the dragon.
Yeah, so they're not going to
Count their
overextend.
blessings.
Very good, it's very smart play. They're going to go ahead and just take this free dragon. So once again, our dragons are matched up 2-2.
Yeah, and even the gold. There's only about a 200 gold deficit, 100, and probably gonna close even more with that tower going down.
Yeah, and what's also important is where exactly that gold is going. And we see that Zaya is picking up all of these kills here, so it is just that Zaya is monstrous.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a problem once Volley starts getting more tank items. Like he's gonna not just be like a wallflower. He's gonna actually be able to frontline for his team, which is gonna be important.
Yeah, and I think what's going to be important here is the Mighty Throws are going to have to see how they can position themselves on top of the objectives before Spectre Gaming gets there, because it looks like these teams are getting to the objectives around the same time. And when that happens and your poke champs aren't in position to poke, you just get run down like that. You see Rumble just got engaged on immediately, had an equalizer on himself, and people are trying to bail him out, and nobody can hit the Zaya. We see that the CS lead is slowly closing across all of the laners here. Ezreal's up about 30. Jax is he's up about 50 right now. We were looking at like 60 earlier, but only being one of those low econ champions, you just kind of need your 1 or 2, and then you're dunking on people. But
yeah, and you see the policeman.
Yeah.
He's speeding. He's gonna catch him.
these things are calming down for a bit. We've got both TPs on top laners here, so if anything breaks out, we're definitely gonna see a 5v5 here. Looks like they're gonna start the Baron. They just got vision
Oh,
of
we
it.
see
And
the
you're gonna
Rumble
see this
TP.
poke comp start to come down. Rumble's TPing in here, and they
Oh.
immediately get off. So they get the Rumble TP down. Aatrox gets to hit on the bot tier 2 tower, and they just back away. So now
Yeah,
Mighty Thirst
pretty
has to
great
make a
macro
decision
play.
here. Yeah. Okay, Q1, Q2, dirty Q3, and Rumble's gonna walk away from the W. Ezreal eating forward, very dangerous. But Sad Dragon Man likes to play on the edge here. That's how you see the stars shine when they know how to just do the old tightrope walk and walk between these abilities, so they
Oh,
can
they're starting
maximize the
again.
damage output. Yeah, they're starting it up again. But Rumble has not fully made his way to the bot lane, so it looks like both these top laners are gonna come around the same time. Baron at 10k HP, another Ezreal ulti's coming down. Braum is not blocking those. The Toledo is going to come down. They are burning this Baron here.
Okay.
To go over to the side of Spectre Gaming. TMT looking like they want to start a fight here, but I just don't know if they have the facilities for that.
Ooh.
This Wise is going to come down, not really hitting anybody. Ezreal east forward
Ooh.
into the Toledo W. Somehow he's able to just walk away, and the fight breaks out immediately. This
Oh my god!
so much work here.
Huge Zaya
it's like
damage.
TMT is not able to fight anybody. This Crypt Bloom healing. We have Volley channel. Oh my goodness, he is drift walking on him. Sad Dragon Man making his last stand.
Oh.
Jax is
Gap
just trying to finish some
widens.
CS. We're gonna flash onto the Jax here. We miss our Q, miss our W, miss another Q,
Oh.
and there he goes.
And that is
There's a 5-0
about
ace
a 4K gold
right
lead
there.
for Spectre Gaming.
And it's about to continue going. They're gonna crack tier 2 top, tier 2 mid. Everyone is dead. They could go for these tier 3s. The only person spawning here is Red Strike 929. We've got another 10 seconds on
honestly,
Ushikis. Yeah, this inhibitor is definitely gonna go down.
As we were talking about before the game started, I think it really came down to whose game plan was easier to execute. I think that the unfortunately, TMT has been playing Spectre's game. They're going for the team fights, but like the Spectre team is much better equipped to handle team fights, and they've also had a lot better positioning. Oh.
Yeah, it's like I said. Looks like Red
The
Strike
Nautilus
caught
gets
here on the
caught.
XK here. Just another one goes over to the Zaya.
He got
I mean, this
gunned down
is
in
what I
the
was talking
streets.
about. Although, the TMT's individual champions are easy to execute. The poke comps are definitely one of the more difficult compositions to execute as a team. We're seeing that on full display here. It definitely doesn't help. I was saying it earlier. Hey, it doesn't help even if you have 10 kills as Zaya, but here we are at 10 kills, and they are just running into these Zaya feathers. I'm not sure what they need to change around. Another dragon's gonna go over, and we are on soul point.
Yeah, and you see that the Rumble's lead very quickly dwindling. It's the Aatrox. Aatrox is kind of online now.
Aatrox is absolutely activated. He might be quite a bit of gold ahead of the Rumble right now, just between the neutral objectives, all these turrets going down. I mean, he's got a 600 gold bounty on him. He's 7-5. So, his Rumble was 8-1 at one point. So that brother has died 6 times since then.
Yeah, he is getting roasted and toasted. And we also see that with the third Drake being taken for Spectre, that in about 4 minutes, I think TMT is going to have a really hard choice to make, right? Do we contest the soul or do we try to get the Baron? Because I think that's a common place where a lot of teams make macro mistakes, is kind of just deciding what they're going to do when enemy team is threatening soul plus Baron.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. The Baron is going to be up a full minute before the Dragon is, so it's very easy for Spectre Gaming to just burn the Baron here. I mean, we saw how fast how fast Dragon went down, how fast the first Baron went down. They absolutely tear through these objectives with his Zaya. I mean, Zaya is maybe 1k gold away from being full items at 35 minutes and sitting on the Zeal right now. It's scary.
And I think a big problem too is that TMT can't really do the same, right? They don't have like any super like high damage objective melting champions that can kind of like take objectives as fast as as fast as Spectre's team can. So like they're kind of just stuck between a rock and a hard place right here.
Yeah, we got a little bit of damage coming onto the Aatrox, but if you know that Aatrox here, he is about a 1Q auto away from full HP again. They're just going to keep trying to thin out these waves. They also don't have a great wave clear. I mean, Rumble shreds these super minions, so they've got that going for them. But wave clear as a whole, I mean, yeah, they're just not able to keep up with Spectre Gaming's shove. And we got a standard, we have a 3-1-1 going on here. We're just keeping all this pressure on the top side, because as soon as that Baron spawns, if they keep these wave shoves, they're able to just rotate over. And what I'm expecting is they're going to fake the Baron rotate. Somebody's going to be sitting in a bush, and someone's just going to walk into that bush, and they're going to see 5 Spectres they're going to think is haunted.
I call that a haunted house for real, for real.
Absolutely. The game has definitely slowed down quite a bit. So the last about 2 minutes here have just been them shoving waves and clearing waves, just getting their last items together. Zaya backed and he didn't seem to pick up any items. I'm not sure if he picked up an elixir either. I think when you have one of these team fights where it's game deciding, you definitely just want to spend as much gold as possible here.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, it looks like she didn't pick up the elixir. Oh.
Okay, it looks like we have the Blood multi coming down. Aatrox popping the ulti. We're just having a full 5v5 fight here, and it is not going the way of TNT at all. They are getting absolutely slaughtered here. People do way too much damage, and that is the game. We didn't even need to get to that Baron. They are walking in. It is a clean 5-0 ace, and this one is over. TP coming down from the Aatrox. GG
Spectre
TNT,
Gaming.
GG Spectre Gaming.
Yeah, it looks like Spectre Gaming just went like, this is your annual purge. They kind of just cold them.
Okay, so we didn't get to see the game 2 here, but between game 1 and game 3, who are we thinking is the MVP here? Now, I gotta say, this Zaya from Basic was looking really strong in game 3, and game 1 was such a slog 1-hour game. I hate the both of y'all teams for that, but we gotta see here.
Yeah, I'm pretty on board with the Zaya.
Okay, we're feeling
Basic,
Basic.
kinda just-
Okay, we could definitely
Yeah.
bring Basic over to the caster's booth and let's give him a chat. Do any of us actually have the power to drag him over?
I have no idea. Do we have to ask? Help!
I don't
Help
even know
us.
which one is Basic, bro. You think it's Iron Thug? My goat.
No, I think it's is it crit? I think it's crit.
I'm looking at the wrong chat. I'm looking at Frostline's chat. No wonder.
Yeah,
Tripping.
Frost Lions are just chilling up there.
Frostlines are already ready for their game. Okay. They're in the Lion's Den. But is there any way we can get crit up in here?
I have no idea.
Maybe
Rob, you got anything to say about this game?
Bro, Basics OP. That's all I got. That guy cooking throughout the whole series, bro.
Hey, we got a
High
unanimous
The
Basic
kiting,
MVP.
the mechanics, the farming, the smack. Dude, I don't even know. He's just too good. I mean, learning was also really good with the roams topside.
Yeah, learning was like
Yeah.
was really proactive with it, and we saw that
Yeah, that was some
Strike was really
beautiful
lagging
roam.
behind half the time.
Yeah, he's lugging that anchor suit around. It's a little hard for him to get around the map.
Somebody gotta loosen up the suit, bro. Man. Nah, they just played really well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think it really came down to team comps and drafts. I think that you know what we talked about in the beginning, right? The easier to execute comp is probably going to win,
Yeah.
and I think that Spectre definitely had an easier to execute comp. So, is our boy Reno in here? Is there any way we can drag
I'm trying to get a quick
drag?
little interview in with Basic. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll just glaze him here. Basic, I gotta say, that Zaya gameplay was absolutely amazing. I mean, I gotta give it to the whole team. You know, coming off of a much quicker game too, it can be a little mentally taxing. But y'all were able to recover very well. Like we talked about earlier, these learning rooms were absolutely phenomenal. You were able to get that top lane back on track from what was early. Um, Mid lane was playing a very consistent game, able to match this Jace and absolutely out roam on the Talia ulti. That's to be expected on Talia. Swagasm definitely holding it down, having a rough start on the Roly Bear, but you're able to keep your head down and just play a tank's game and just know that your job is to CC and absorb damage and let your carries do the work. So I think, hats off to Spectre Gaming. They did an absolutely wonderful performance here. But I don't want to discredit the Mighty Throws either. We didn't get to see that game too, but from the looks of it, it was an absolute banger from what I saw. And then game three, you were able to get these early leads going. We saw some absolutely heroic plays from Katsumi in the 1v2 and making sure to always pick up the kill on the right person to just kind of stall these objectives out so that no death was in vain.
What a
Better luck next
baller!
time. Yeah, better luck next time to TMT. Congratulations, Spectre Gaming. And let's take a brief intermission while we get ready for Knights of Shamash and Frost Lions.
Hmm.
Oh, where is Reno?
Reno. You know,
Free Reno.
whenever I see Reno, I think of like, hey, I don't know if you remember, like back in the day, Hearthstone. There's a card called Reno. It's just like a dude with like a shit-eating grin and like a magnificent mustache, and he's like dressed up like a big game hunter.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
What in the heck?
Well, to be fair, it's been a rough day on production today. The league is having its own set of issues with a spectate tool. We almost got gapped
Yeah,
in game three by Riot Games, small indie company. So, anything can happen here.
yeah. No, maybe I think he last time we were still talking, he said his wife was tanking some aggro for him, so maybe he has to go deal with that.
Oh, yeah, that's very, very true. You gotta go gank.
Well, yep. I mean, just to put a cap on everything. Good games to all, although flame where flame is due. Y'all boys on TMT. I understand that you Renata ulted the enemy team IRL last time, but try not to get Renata ulted yourself.
Oh, and there goes Black Fate. Um,
Yeah, he's done.
okay, we see the Knights of Samash enjoyers already popping up in the chat.
Oh yeah, they're ready to go.
We are ready for the second series of the day.
Guess I'll do today's Wordle in the meantime. No, they're disappearing.